If your child's been injured at birth and you're concerned that he or she may never work, you may be asking yourself, well, how can we prove that and how can we put a money figure behind that? Because some may say, well, if your child's never worked, there's no way that you can prove any kind of work loss opportunity. But yes, you can, and let me explain how we do it. First, we get an expert who has familiarity with how to do this particular analysis. So step one is we look at the parents and we see how far they went in school, and we also look at what jobs they've held. And studies have shown that children will reach the level at least of their parents and maybe even higher. So with that information, we, along with the expert, we make some projections about the level of education that your child can attain. Now, this is not speculation. This is based on studies and statistical evidence that holds up in court. Once we do that, we look at the jobs that parents had, and we're able to make a projection as to the level of employment that the child will obtain. Again, this isn't speculation. This is based on evidence. And after that occurs, this expert will then go look at the government statistics on wages, what particular job your child was likely to have, and how much your child is likely to make. And then over time, there's cost of living increases and those wages go up. After we determine that information, then we use something called a work life expectancy. So it's assumed that someone will work until age 65. And with all that information, we're able to calculate how much your child would have earned if your child had not been injured. And in many cases, this can be hundreds of thousands of dollars and even in the millions, because you can imagine someone who works, let's say at age 21, all the way to 65, that's decades of work experience. And just because your child hasn't worked doesn't mean that we're not able to prove it and to put a money figure behind it.